Hello YouTubers, would you care for another instalment of Cryptbeards XX, which is Roman for 20? Yeah? Okay, good. Good, you knew that anyway, didn't you? You knew that already. So many sporting events have so many Roman numerals after their names, you must have known. Even if you only knew in your heart of hearts. Just for those of you watching on YouTube who weren't here watching this live when it was recorded, we have a raid going on. I say a raid, it's more of a siege. That's the word that the game uses. We've got a couple of gobbos, I say a couple again, we've got about 10 gobbos knocking around in this cave near here, and I don't really know if there's anything we can do about it, to be honest. I mean, maybe if we were super quick, we could pop down that bridge, send someone up and wall them in, which would be kind of fun, because then we might get to watch them starve to death? Question mark? But it's also a very risky strategy. I feel like the second we open that bridge, we're going to see goblins making a beeline for it. Oh, hello, I am Samoth. Welcome back, and thank you very much for the bits. 200 bits. Oh, thank you very much. Ooh. Hit yourself straight to the top of the leaderboard there. Well, it was an open spot at the moment, though, so we'll see how long that lasts. Probably all night. Usually it does, but we'll see. We'll see. Where were we? Yes, we were talking about the goblins. So they've come in. They've mostly bundled into the caverns down there. And they just seem to be faffing around a bit. I don't think they'll leave until they've taken significant damage. So what we might need to do is perhaps... Oh, hello.
Tirist Stetadiclorarad, the peasant, has created Semoribal, an obsidian scepter. He offers it to the High Paper.
Okay, let's have a little look at this scepter, shall we? A little diversion to take our minds off the greenskin threat. Unite Revered. Okay, it's called Unite Revered, an obsidian scepter. It's worth 26 grand, which is quite... It's okay. It's not the most expensive thing we've ever seen, but it's not too bad.
This is an obsidian scepter. All craftsdwarfship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with round obsidian cabochons and encircled with bands of cushion obsidian cabochons. This object menaces with spikes of obsidian. On the item is an image of two giant grey langurs in pipe opal.
Well, that's very nice. I like the sound of that, mainly because of the amount of obsidian that's been used. It's a spiky obsidian scepter with pictures of grey langurs. Are they like monkey things, like lemurs? Is a langur a sort of... I'm going to have to check. Excuse me while I just hit Google. I need to know what a langur is. Bear with me. I'm typing it in right now. Langur. Feel free to Google along with me if that interests you. It is a kind of a monkey.
The grey langur, also called Hanuman langur, is a genus of Old World monkey native to the Indian subcontinent. Traditionally, only one species, Semnopithecus entellus, was recognized, but since about 2001, additional species have been recognized. The taxonomy has been in flux, but currently 8 species are recognized. There you go, a little snippet from Wikipedia for you there. A langur, it's one of those monkeys with the white fur and the black faces with the little thin black ears. They look very sweet. Not a million miles away from my terrifying nightmare monkey, though, I have to say. It does bear a striking resemblance to it, but not exactly. Not enough to make me quail. Not enough to make me fear. Let me go back to the game. Sorry, I'm getting a bit distracted there, talking about langurs. Pipe opal, of course, opals are very beautiful, precious stones. I've been watching Outback Opal Hunters fairly recently. That's quite a good show. I mean, it is basically the same as every other reality doing it's the same as Gold Rush, same as, but it's fun. The only other reality show I really like is The Curse of Oak Island, which many of you will scoff at and say, "Oh, come scoundrel, how could you possibly be watching such trash?" But personally, I think it's one of the greatest shows ever made. Like a millionaire spending a big slice of his fortune digging holes on an island, chasing after treasure that may well not be there. It's great. I love it. Let's stop talking about TV, though, and actually get some dwarf fortressing done, because we don't want to end up in the situation we've ended up in previous second segments of a stream, do we? We don't want to end up with me just sitting here babbling away for hours and doing nothing in the game, because, frankly, that's going to be a big old waste of everybody's time. Well, I say a waste. I mean, it's not. I'm enjoying myself, so for me it's actually quite productive, but I don't know. I feel like I might be wasting your time if I just sit here jawing away, waiting for a goblin siege to end when it never will. Anyway, I've got a plan. Let's put it this way. We're going to put some cage traps in. So, build trap? Cage trap, says the hiccuping man. Excuse me. And we're going to pop them in right here. Cool. Is it C for cage traps? It is. I'm going to put in a big barrage of them. And I know I said I wasn't going to be doing this fortress, but to be honest, we don't really have many other options on the table right now. So, okay, so that's using up all of our mechanisms on cage traps. I'm hoping it's going to be effective in catching all of these gobbos, but we'll see. We'll see. They do have a horrible tendency to actually make it past cage traps occasionally, so we'll see what goes on there. What's this stinking corpse in the entryway? Let me have a quick look here. It's a... Hello? A rotten leopard woman mangled corpse. Who killed a leopard woman in the hallway? And how... Okay, well, let's not worry too much about it. Dead leopard women, I mean, they're not the biggest worry we have right now. Getting these traps done is, and then getting the goblins to go over them is the sort of secondary consideration. I think if we pull everybody down into the dining hall, we should be okay. Because even if they get past the cage traps, we will have everybody bunched together in a small area, which means a Cryptbeards rush will be even more effective than usual. Even more effective than usual. Oh, I forgot to mention, if anybody's come here via the subreddit, the Dwarf Fortress subreddit, I wouldn't mind an upvote. That would be nice. I should have mentioned it earlier, because now we're nearing the end of the stream. It's kind of a bit ineffectual, but whatever. Oh well. I forgot. Let's have a little look here. Who have we got in chat? Plutonium Jesus says, that needs an evil monkey curse on it. If only we had that magic update. Oh, it's going to be great when they get magic into this. There's so many new layers of it still yet to be implemented. I mean, they've got the gods in there, sort of, but they don't really do much as far as I'm aware. Man, magic's going to be good. It's going to be very nice, especially when it means some of the books have more import than just the names and stuff. I Am Samoth has put an emoji in chat that I can't actually see from here. It's a little chest full of gold. But can they diggy hole? Of course they can. They're dwarves. That's what they do. They are dwarves and they dig diggy hole. Diggy hole, etc, etc, etc. Use your scoundrel strike. Well, if I had a scoundrel strike, I would. The Cryptbeards rush is the closest thing I have to a scoundrel strike. I imagine if such a thing as a scoundrel strike existed, it would be like an actual sort of labour strike. That's the kind of strike I would probably be involved in. Okay, so everybody's played the traps. It's time to reinstate the alert and see if this strategy will work. Alerts, borrow. There we go. Everybody downstairs, you little rascals. Come on. Inside. We're going to lose all our farm animals, but to be fair, I didn't even bring them with me. That's just stuff migrants have brought with them, so they're not exactly linchpins of our strategy. Okay. Right. This looks good. Everybody's down there? Everybody's down there. No, some dunce is asleep down here in the mini barracks. Why? The dormitory, the pre-barracks. Tobol the wood burner. Tobol, I'm going to pause the game briefly and we're just going to check if Tobol Tulon is actually worth keeping or if I just fling the gates open. Let's do a little search for him. Tubol. Tubol. Okay. Apparently, he does not exist. That's intriguing. Hello, question mark. What's going on here then? Tobul. Okay, T-O-B-U-L. Not Tobol. Tobul. There we go. Tobul, not Tubol. Oh my god, I can't type. Here we go. We've done it now. Tobol Tulumlumlumuz. He is a... What is that? Let me see. It's a wood burner. I knew that already. And he's a great wood burner. Well, seeing as we've entirely bypassed the wood burning industry, you do appear to be somewhat, if not entirely, superfluous. Therefore, unfortunately for you, you're going to be sent to the knacker's yard, metaphorically speaking. You won't be turned into glue. You're going to be turned into more of a sort of a red paste. But that's okay. We can live with that. All right, I can. You can't, obviously, because intrinsic to the idea is your death. Let's click here. Let's add a new task. Pull the lever and do it now. Okay. Brilliant. Okay, is anyone going to run over there and do it? Let's go and look at the gate. Actually, I may take a secondary strategy. Before they're even on the traps, I'm going to have a go at flipping that bridge up and down to see if we can fling some gobbos in the air and have them land in the magma. That would be splendid. What a great way to get rid of the old goblin threat. They don't appear to have cottoned on to the fact that it's open yet, which is interesting. I'm expecting them to come out from the caverns. However, there could be some roaming around on the higher levels of the volcano cone, so we do need to keep our peepers peeled. I don't feel like I should leave the gate unless we've paused. Nothing happening yet. Okay, let's have a pause. Let's go down in the caves and see if we can spot any goblins. Come on, my little goblin buddies. Where are you? Where have you gone? Where are you hiding? Okay. They appear to have gone into... That's a big cave. They appear to have gone into the cave and not come back out again, which is intriguing. Tell you what, let's do it properly. And question mark? Interesting. 3 barn owls. Okay. Hello, V. Vesquinter? VSK Winter? I'm not sure which pronunciation is correct. We'll go with Winter for now until you can get us a little bit of a clarification on the pronunciation. But welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining us. And also Pixel Rain. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome to the stream for the first time. Obviously, because you've just literally said that's the case. Foolish me. VSK Winter. Okay, fair enough. That's fairly straightforward to remember. Possibly spy owls, you reckon? Plutonium Jesus. I mean, an owl does seem like a good bird. If you can train birds to be spies, an owl seems to be one to pick. Oh, thank you very much for the follow, Pixel Rain. It is Pixel Rain? Good. I thought it was Pixel Ian for a second, and then I thought, no, come on. It's got to be right. There's an R in there. Anyway, yeah, spy owls. You would want to pick spy owls. They've got they've got good night vision, very good hearing. They fly silently. Owls have got a lot to recommend them in terms of, spy/ninja type stuff. I mean, a ninja owl would be a pretty forbidding, threatening opponent. They could throw ninja stars at you while they're flying. You wouldn't hear them coming. I wonder if, this is a bit of a tangent, but I wonder if any biologists have ever been so closely studying barn owls that they've heard them coming, in the procreational sense. I wonder if they make any noises. Does an owl have an O face? I mean, generally speaking, their faces are a kind of O shape anyway, but does an owl react visibly at the moment of donning the jester's shoes, reaching the vinegar strokes? I wonder. Anyway, yes, but I'm sure they would make great spies. Fantastic. Hello, Jack Bandit. Welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us. Sorry about that little tangent there. Got a bit weird. Bigger eyes than brains. Well, absolute brain size is not necessarily an indicator of actual intelligence and ability, is it? I mean, because crows and other corvids must have pretty small brains, but they're quite smart. I think, as I understand it, and this is as a layman understands it, like the capabilities of a brain are more to do with the interconnectedness of the neurons and how that pattern forms than to do with absolute number of neurons or size. But then Maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe that's old thinking. Maybe I'm behind the times on neuroscience. I mean, I am not a rocket surgeon, so, I mean, take everything I say with a pinch of salt. Owls, aka the ninjas of the sky. That does seem like an appropriate appellation for them, I would say. The closest game to this that I've played was like 20 minutes of Cataclysm DDA, but I couldn't figure it out, to be honest. My laptop wouldn't be able to handle Dwarf Fortress. It might. Don't necessarily assume it won't. You may not be able to get fortresses to massive sizes, but if you put a population cap on and you sort of like think about how you're arranging your fortress, you can actually keep the fortress going fairly well on a low-powered machine. I mean, I've done it before. Yes, it will chug eventually, but it chugs eventually on high-powered machines anyway, because, you know, it doesn't have any multi-threading or anything like that, so even if you've got a beast of a machine, it all hinges on the processor. Anyway, where was I? VSK Winter says, oh no, we just said that. Fuzzy Logic says, now Wales, great big buggers. Brain City Wales. Now Wales? Whale ninjas? Whale spies? Is this what we're talking about here, Fuzzy? Are you bringing up the idea of cetaceans or cetaceans, whatever it's pronounced, being, are whales cetaceans, or is that just dwarves? The other dolphins. Yes, the D mammals. They would make pretty decent spies. They're supposed to be pretty clever. Although less clever than you think, apparently. Dwarves are about as clever as dogs. Which is, you know, reasonably clever for animals, but let's face it, not that fucking clever. Embark 2x1. Oh yeah, that would actually be a good. That's a good way to get a lot of frame rate out of a low-powered computer. But then again, you are quite limited in what you can do there. Having said that as well, though, I am barely using anything on this map that I've got. This massive embark I have, I'm just using one corner of it. So realistically, is a 2x1 embark really that much of a limitation? I'm not sure. We'll see. Oh, I've had one of those Lenovo laptops from an old job. They can be a bit guff. Excuse me. However, I did run Dwarf Fortress on it, so give it a crack. You never know. It's a free game. Well, it's not going to cost you anything but a bit of time to download it and give it a go. If you are going to dip your toes in, I would recommend using the Lazy Noob Pack. Just give a search for that and it gives you a launcher and everything, and it makes things a little bit easier for the beginner. And, to be fair, the intermediate player like myself as well. I've been using it for years. Adventure mode, I couldn't help you with, because I've never really given it a go. I've watched Krug Smash playing it recently and thought, well, that looks interesting. But the one or two times I've sort of given it a little try, it's just been overwhelmingly complicated. I got the same thing from Cataclysm Dark Days Ahead as well, but I do want to give that a second shot because, I mean, I've seen other people play it and have fun and come up with, like, find fun stories in it and stuff like that. So it feels like a good game to play. It's just getting the moment to sit down and actually figure out the controls a bit better. I believe if Cupo's still here, he's probably streaming by now actually, but if he's still here, he plays DDA fairly regularly. I've definitely seen him streaming it. Well worth a watch. Lazy Noob Pack might as well just be the pack. That's true. I mean, for a lot of people, it is basically the way into Dwarf Fortress. Anyway, just quickly, do sieges just up and leave? I thought you had to do damage to them to get them to piss off, but they appear to have just gone. Walked off the map. Android port is a mess because you have to have a Bluetooth keyboard. Ugh. That does sound like a bit of a pain in the arse. Although a Bluetooth keyboard is cool. I mean, having a keyboard for your phone's kind of cool and handy. Makes it easier, marginally easier to type stuff in. Definitely easier to play games. But, I mean, whew. I didn't even realise there was a DDA port on Android. But I suppose it makes sense. I wonder if it's available on iPhone. I'll have to look. I've got lots of space on my phone now. I've deleted Hearthstone. So, yeah, it's all good. Anyway, let's get back into the game because I've gone on another wacky tangent and we're already 19 minutes into the recording and I have done basically nothing other than put a few traps in. Let's also take that alert off because the goblins appear to have fucked off, so to speak. There we go. There's the restrictions lifted. Everyone can get up and get out. And hopefully we haven't just blazed through our food and drink resources because that would be a problem. Might have taken damage in the caverns from a beastie. That's true. We do have those. Oh my god, those King Cobra men, haven't we? We better wall that back off again. Actually, before we do, let's just go down to the bottom layer of the cavern that we've got to. Put a dig order in and just get a little bit more of that cavern exposed. Just a teeny weeny little bit of the cavern. There we go. And then once our miners are back, then we shall do some walling off. Because I would like to get an idea of just how big this cave is. Because I don't think it's not like a cavern layer. It is just a cave. Can caves connect up to cavern layers? Hearthstone, the Blizzard card game. Not Hearthstorm. That's crazy talk. There's no game called Hearthstorm. Actually, there probably is. Here's a question. Has anybody played... Oh, look, there's no... Oh, there is further to go. There is further. Has anybody played a game that's in early access on Steam called Barrow... Whoa! Barrow Trauma. What's this? Ungongo Ngulocox. Too wrong. Okay, let's find out who this bad boy is. A Cyclops. Okay. Well, let's not anger that, shall we? Let's see if we can go any further. That is actually quite nice. The fact that we've got a Cyclops here that's going to beat down any goblins who invade is pretty special. And also, when we get round to killing him, how is he actually? Is he doing okay? Is he wounded? Let's look at his wounds. W. He is wounded. Upper body, lower body, right arm, left arm. He's pretty wounded and distracted as well, apparently, which is understandable. If your body's covered in wounds, you're going to be a little bit distracted, aren't you? Where's my dwarf who's mining? Because I want him to stop. He has finished. Good. And are you going back up to the surface? There they are. Back up you go. Come on. There we are. Yes. A little bit further. A little bit further. Outside. It's actually quite a long cavern route. It's all good though. At least we're going to wall it off. And at least we know now that King Cobra men are not the only thing to worry about in these caves. Right. Build capital C for walls. Yes. W. And I would like my wall placed there, please. And we're going to make it out of nice blocks. Nice gneiss blocks. Lovely. Okay. And unpause. Let's just carefully watch that wall for a moment to make sure it gets constructed in a timely manner, which it almost certainly won't. And we're just going to hope that that Cyclops doesn't find its way out. Then again, do we want to close it up? I mean, we could just close it up with a drawbridge, couldn't we? And then when the goblins turn up, all we have to do is open it and they'll charge down and end up getting mauled by the Cyclops. But too late now. Decision made in pausing. I'm a little bit sad that I've ended up doing the cage trap thing again, because I've done that nearly every time I've played Dwarf Fortress, and much as it's effective, I feel like it is kind of time for me to start branching out a bit. I did last Fortress. I said I was going to start looking into mechanisms and building pumps and all that kind of gubbins, and did I do any of it? No, not at all. Oof, MB. I'm not sure I get what you're saying there. I've missed the context, I think. But like EW. MB, EW, are these keyboards? No. I'm just failing to glean the context of it. Hello, Shampoo Bandit. Welcome back again. Drawbridges solve every problem. They do, if that problem is squashable. Oh, goodbye, VSK Winter. Have a good night, and maybe see you around. Fingers crossed. My bad. And oh! I'm so bad at internet speak. I'm awful. Dear oh dear oh dear. I don't even know what the Twitch emojis mean. They're not called emojis, are they? What are they called? Emotes. That's the word. I don't even know what they mean. I know what my one means. Obviously, I made it. Anyway, where were we? We were just kind of letting things get back into their normal groove after last time, which is fine. After last time? After the fortress... it's not fortress, what's the word? I'm getting tired now, aren't I? Siege. After the siege was dealt with, although I say dealt with kind of ignored and then it went away. Not usually the best method for getting rid of a problem, but turns out to be pretty functional in this scenario. It looks like we've nearly smelted all our galena, which is interesting. We still haven't really dented our lead supplies. I'm assuming most of those bins are just full of lead bars. It would be nice to sell them all tarted up and made nice into toys and whatnot to the elves, but I have a sneaking suspicion that we may end up just selling raw lead bars just to clear out some space. They only seem to be using one of the smelteries as well. Why is this? Why? Why? Why you do that? Let's take a look at what the orders are currently in these forges, because lead toy? Lead toy. Okay, so they've obviously melted down all of our sweet steel leggings, and let me just E-S-T-E-L. Oh no, we haven't melted any of them down. Huh. Okay, we've got 2 smelteries. Why is only one magma smelter active? Oh, because that's a glass furnace. Ah, we did build the glass furnace. Fantastic. In that case, let's build another smeltery. Build workshop? No. Build magma industry? Is that what it's called? Oh, there's more than one page. An all-trap restraint cage, archery target. Reminds me, we need to get our military going. We can't rely on just holding up in here all the time. That's not going to work. Paved road, table slab, statue, weapon rack, farm plot. Where the funky dickens? It's got to be in workshops. It's not a magma forge. What is it? I can't find it. It's got to be somewhere in these menus, right? It's definitely a build on the B menu. Door, floodgate, container, kennels. I'm probably going straight past it, aren't I? Well, furnaces. E, there we go. Furnaces. We want magma smelters, please. L, there we go. And it needs a hole dug out at the top. Okay, we'll deal with that first. D, no, not a glass furnace. DH. Let's pop a hole right there. And then once that's been channeled out, we'll put a smelter on top of it. And hopefully we'll get a bit of a better throughput on our melting and smelting. Build, workshop, E for furnace. That's a leatherworks. Shit. What was it again? Oh no. E? There we go. Got it. Magma smelter. Bingo. We've just doubled our throughput. Lovely. Let's not build it out of steel bars. Let's build it out of obsidian. And see that it gets built as quick as possible. Come on, guys. Someone build it. Someone build me a second smelter. That's what I need. Got lots of people coming down collecting those lead toys. They do seem to be being created at a fairly fast pace. I think the other workshop's only for our weaponsmith, isn't it? So maybe I should get some of those silver hammers in, right? Maybe I should be getting some of those going. I did say I was going to, although we could make silver spiked balls as well. That would be kind of cool. Then again, who are we going to trade those with? Elves? I mean, we've got spiked wooden balls. Do we really need more? We might actually. I don't know how many we've actually got prepared. Then again, the lead toys will be fine for trade. It'll be all good. It will be all good. Oh, excuse me, stretching. It is a volcano, Shampoo Bandit. Yes, excuse that little fart. I hope it didn't ruin anyone's evening. Let me just show you the volcano, shall I? Let's go up to the very top floor. The top of the cone. We've got a nice bit of flat space up here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it, but probably a temple, right? Seems like volcano temple. They go pretty much hand in hand. And then if we go down, excuse me, we can see that I've tapped it for the moat. there. And I've also tapped it, if we go further down, for the Magma Industries, which is nice. If you watch more than one fortress on this channel, you will pretty quickly suss out that I nearly always go for a volcano embark. It's quite unusual if I do anything else. Oh, we're down to 65 FPS. We're going to have to start doing some stuff to minimise pathing soon. Oh, I tried building this vertical fortress with all the workshops in place, but the migrants, they come too quickly to cope with. Even building all these like extra bedrooms down the side really hasn't done much to sort of, you know, take care of the, 86 dwarves we've got here now? I don't even know how many beds we've got. Actually, we can check that, can't we? Build bed. We've got 62 beds, so we are well short of the number required. Do we need to make another barracks? Or a dormitory, rather? I think we might need to, you know. Where are we going to put it, though? Are we going to put it down here somewhere? I could put it on the magma floor, right? Just go on the other side here. So if we just dig over this way, bingo, like that. And then if I... Screw it, we'll just do a shift box. Good? Yeah, that's good. Then we'll just make that a dormitory. Easy peasy. He says, waiting for his miner to jump into action. Coming? You going to do some digging? There we go. That's the kind of digging I like to see. Actual real digging. Yeah. Diggy diggy. Diggy diggy. Volcanoes seem like a lot of fun. Definitely way easier to make use of lava. Yeah, exactly. I've never even bothered looking at wood burning and stuff like that. I mean, it's been ages. It's taken me a long time to... What the fuck? Dead babies? Not so fussed about that. I mean, I might want to check how it happened. Let's just check to see if a baby was fighting. Ah, there is some fighting going on. This is... What the... Oh, the cat went down there and fought the Cyclops. Probably not the smartest move on the cat's part. The war dog is fighting. No reason. So that's an older one. Okay, let's check out the animal trainer fighting. Who are you fighting? The Cyclops bashes the animal trainer in the right upper arm with his Ongnoorosplu. Okay. Okay. This doesn't seem fantastic. Why are my guys coming into contact with the Cyclops? That doesn't make any sense. Let's go and check out the Cyclops' little lair. Oh, hello. Who's going down there to pick up corpses? What is going on? Have I not walled it off properly? Well, there are people stuck in the caverns. What the fuck? There's loads of them. Have I breached the caverns somehow? Why are there hundreds of bastard dwarves down in here? Oh yeah, oh, just bring your babies down. Ugh. Mamas, don't let your babies grow up at all. Well, it looks like the Cyclops is pretty much in trouble. Brilliant. This is just what we needed. A shitload of dead dwarves. Let's unpause. The Cyclops is still moving. What in the name of fucking hell is going on? How are they all in there? Why are they all in there? What the... Oh. Quick damage assessment. We had 76 dwarves. We've now got 64. Shit. Damn, we've lost a few. But why? Question mark. Hello, Coagmano? Coagmano? Fun indeed. Fun indeed. Thanks for joining us. Sorry, I think that's the right pronunciation of your name, right? Maybe not. Well, I'm sure we'll be told. Perhaps they were looking for some Cyclops treasure. Perhaps. But I'm worried more about the how than the why. Because I am not... I walled it in, which means I either walled them all in, so they were down there already for reasons, Okay, okay. We'll undo the wall. We'll dig out the wall. Sod it. DD. There. Okay. Actually, before we do that, we'll set them all to go to the alert space, and that way we can try and find out where the leak is. Right? There we go. Everybody go to the burrow, please. It should realistically only be available. Oh my god! It's just open! It's always been open. It's never been closed. No, wait. Did they all get back in? Somehow. None of them are down here. Apart from an unattended baby. Excellent. Got a shitload of corpses as well. Oh my god. Oh, who's arrived? More migrants. Before we even get a chance to figure out who has died and left the fortress permanently, we've got more replacing them. This is a worry. We're definitely going to have food problems. I need to start putting a much lower population cap on my fortresses. The vanilla population cap is it's just very, very high. Okay, let's go down a couple of floors. So where am I? Here. Are they coming in? Ah, we can follow him. Where's he gone? Where you going? Let's pause. Let's follow this bad boy. Are you a new one? Uris Ralumbun, the surgeon. Let's follow him and see what happens. Where are you going? How'd you get out? Are you going to get out? Or are you just being crazy? Is he one of the new guys? Okay, he's going down. Ignoring the baby. As you do. Deep, deep down. Come on. Getting into the blood zone. And killed by a Cyclops? No. Not quite. Yes, killed by a Cyclops. What are you all doing? I'm clearly too tired to be playing. What is going on? Why are they all in there? Right, let's dig this out here. There we go. And fingers crossed this will allow an escape. Let's resume. Let's see what happens. Is that all the migrants just going straight in? Where are they getting out? Inquiring minds want to know. Are they actually getting out? Is this whole cavern system just open in ways that I'm not seeing? Oh my god, there's an opening right there. Fuck. Why is nobody following the alert? Because it's not on. Of course it's not on. Okay, everybody out of those goddamn caverns. We're bricking them in. Oh, if only I'd checked more carefully for exits. Oh, bum. For fuck's sake. Oh, pause! Shit, we're down to 32 dwarves! What is going on? Did everybody go down to fight the Cyclops one by one or something? Minutes ago we had a viable population and suddenly they're still going down. You're all supposed to be going straight back to the burrow. Right? That's what you're doing, isn't it, dwarves? That's what you're up to? You couldn't possibly all be being complete fucking idiots, could you? I mean, it's kind of the MO of the dwarven mind, but well, realistically, why would you do that? Yeah, no shit, there's miasma down there. God damn it, I didn't even notice the little bastards going down there. What on earth were they doing? And here we are now with 32 dwarves, only 28 of which are adults. Good grief. It is a lot of corpses, Shampoo Bandit, and I have got no idea what caused them to go down there and start fannying around with a Cyclops. Seems like classic twattery to me. Anyway, let's pause the action and go and look at Dwarf Therapist and see how the damage plays out. Let's see what's going on here. Read. Okay, so we've got 2 people left with a nickname. Of the 11 who were there, Parker and Party Pooper have both survived. Everybody else who had a nickname, dead, which also means our metal industries are dead. Why were they even leaving their workshops? They should not have been away from their workshops. I mean, it feels like I'm within my rights to blame them for their own deaths, right? Oh no, look at this. We're ruined. Everything that was established has gone. We still got, what have we got here? A mayor? We've got our mayor. Every other fucking noble is dead. Oh, this is my favourite Dwarf Fortress tune in the background. Okay, I've calmed myself down there. You did die to a Cyclops, Clay Cree. Almost certainly. I could save Scum. We did save a little while back, didn't we? And Plutonium Jesus also has a point. Our overpopulation problem has now stopped being a problem. Although our having suitably skilled dwarves problem is now a problem. So, DF is basically a fancy version of that game where you have to stop a baby from killing itself. It's a much more complex, but thematically similar game, yes. What do we do? Do we save Scum? What time is it? It's 10 to 2 in the morning and I've been recording for 41 minutes. I mean, if we save Scum, it means undoing everything from before the break, which means we lose a lot. I mean, I'm going to be calling time on the stream relatively soon, like within the next 20 minutes or so. So here's a thought. Let's do a straw poll, okay? Straw poll answer 1 will be save Scum, go back. Straw poll answer 2, style it out, let it play out. So if you'll bear with me a second, I'll just get a straw poll up. Over here in the streaming folder, there's straw poll. Create a poll. Continue. Or save Scum. Question mark. And then obviously the options are continue or continue, as I've written there for some bizarre reason. Continue. There we go. Or scum. There we go. Let's create the poll. Bingo. Excuse me. And here's the link in chat. Bear with me a moment. It more than a fun time to build a Crypt Shampoo Bandit, it is probably a very crucial time to build a thing. What did I do? There is a very good question, Sergeant Indy. There's a very good question. I'm not sure what I did. I have a kind of an idea of what was happening, but I'm not entirely sure what actually happened. Let me just take a look at the fortress and we'll try and piece this together. Now, I didn't realise that the caverns weren't sealed off. There's actually an entrance to the caverns right here. You see that bit going into that mound? That's an entrance down into the caverns. And my dwarves, all, pretty much to a dwarf, went down there and went into the room with the Cyclops and got butchered. Would you like to take a look? Would you like to take a look? Would you like to know more, citizen? Here we go. So here it is. This is the level where we first see a little bit of carnage. What have we got here? Stray kitten, left front leg. Kitten leg, tasty. Then we go down here. We've got 4 or so dwarves. Here we've got another 3 on this floor. And then we've got this chamber of horrors, which still has a live Cyclops in it. Now, if we'd Cryptbeards rushed them and just drafted everybody and sent them all in one after the other, or at the same time rather, we would have beaten that Cyclops to death. But I think because people were trickling in, maybe trying to pick up the goblin armor and stuff like that, but they all kept trickling in there and they all died. Obviously. Sneaky hole into the caverns up in the mountain. Everyone ran in one by one to pick up something from the Cyclops there. That is pretty much the perfect summation of what I just took much longer to say. So, yeah, everything is pretty troublesome. Pretty troublesome. Let's have a little look down at the... yeah, we definitely have enough tables and chairs now, but we don't really have, like, no bookkeeper, no manager. Let's have a little look at the poll, see how that's going, if anybody has actually responded. Because we do occasionally get the old poll that doesn't have a consistent... Oh, well, I think we've got a pretty strong answer here. We've had 5 votes, and 80%, or 4 of those votes, say continue, whereas 20%, or 1 of those votes, says scum. So, I think, realistically, it's a continue. I mean, maybe more people will vote, but unfortunately the poll is now closed and your votes will not be counted. So, yeah, do bear that in mind. Just going to restart the playlist there. Hopefully. Question mark? Excuse me. And I think, I mean, I'm going to try and get the fortress back on its legs, but, I mean, it's a bit of an ask. Then again, it's not like we've gone down to like 2 dwarves or anything. We have actually got 32 viable dwarves left. So, I mean, we've got hope. And in fact, the population problem was a serious problem. So, maybe this was for the best, he says, very Malthusianally. We'll see. We shall see. So what do I need to do in the meantime to mitigate the losses? We need to get somebody trained up on that bastard forge. And we also need probably a carpenter, a mason. Oh, shit. Everybody needs retraining. It's a bit of a disaster. But we've made the decision. It will continue on. Plutonium Jesus says save scumming is wrong and immoral. Oh my goodness, that's a strong stance to take, but I respect your opinion. I may not fully agree with it. I mean, in Dwarf Fortress maybe it's wrong and immoral, but in games in general, oh god, if I hadn't ever saved scum, I'd still be playing some of those games I was playing back in the 80s. Shit. Oh. Actually, I couldn't save scum the games in the 80s. They were all like on cartridges and just like on-off situation. You couldn't save anything. It wasn't until I was playing games on PC, which would have been at least 1990, 1991. Anyway, that's enough of me staring off into the distance and musing about how old I am. Let's get back to reading at chat. What's the point of playing a roguelike if you're not going to get randomly what the fuck from time to time? That's true. Although I don't know if the roguishness of this game is what draws me to it necessarily. It's not the linchpin element to me. But I don't actually know why I like Dwarf Fortress so much. I can't really put my finger on it. I just enjoy it. It's one of those games I keep coming back to again and again. I have to think about it and figure out why I enjoy it so much, because it's really actually quite mystifying to me. I mean, it's a very difficult, awkward, unfinished game, and yet it has some inescapable allure that pulls me in and makes me go, yeah, I'll just play it for another hour or so, and then sun's coming up, birds tweeting, oh shit, I did it again, oh no. I love trying to roll with the punches in games like this, says Shampoo Bandit, which makes sense. That is part of its charm. Don't get me wrong, I'm not always for save scumming, but every now and again, when you had something in mind and it fucks up, you think, yeah, fuck it, I'll reload. Why not? Claycree says the fort is incredibly far from dead, and isn't it more fun to work back up from something? I find it's kind of the point, but I understand we all play games differently. That said, I have scummed in DF before. The only reason that I'm even considering the scumming is because we lost sort of like the dwarves who were shouldering most of the burden of getting stuff done, and that was kind of like, I'm gonna have to redo that. But I'm not wedded to the idea of scumming. Obviously, I'm gonna I'm just going to continue. But yeah, in the right circumstances, I can be tempted to do it. Have you tried Own It? Well, Oxygen Not Included. Speaking of awkward, unfinished games with unspeakable allure, I think Oxygen Not Included is finished now, isn't it? That's come out of early access. It's had a full release, as they say in the massage parlour industry. Bad joke. Apparently, I think so. I think they've released it now, and because I picked it up a couple of weeks after the final release. I say final release. They're still doing updates for it, but yeah, I have played Oxygen Not Included, so yes, I have, and I enjoyed it. It is a good game, and I think I like it for the same reasons I like Dwarf Fortress. I think it's just that sort of like building and managing systems feeling that you get. Although in Oxygen Not Included, I feel like I have more control over stuff and more potential capability to do things, but I'm worse at it than Dwarf Fortress, where I don't feel like I have much control at all, but I've kind of put a lot more time into it and learned a lot more about it. I tried playing some last night, and so much had changed that I didn't even know what the fuck was going on. Tell me about it. Nothing's changed since the last time I've played it, and I haven't got a fucking clue what's going on in it. Still, it's a good looking game, at the very least. At the very least. That was it. I've been thinking of getting a game on early access called Barrow Trauma. And me and a mate have been thinking about doing the multiplayer on it. It's in early access, so I'm not 100% ready to pull the trigger. But it's 25% off. It's only about 16 quid at the moment, so I might be tempted to pick that up. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. We've been playing a lot of a lot of Sea of Thieves lately, and we've just started playing State of Decay 2 because we all the guys who've got PCs decided to take advantage of the £1 month of Xbox Live arcade that you can get at the moment on PC. Well worth a look. I think it's $1 in America and stuff like that. So if you haven't got an Xbox with Xbox Live, but you've got a PC, have a look at the Xbox Live arcade deal, because you can get, I think, 2 months for £1 each, which is pretty good value. I mean, Sea of Thieves alone has provided me well more than £2 value. So yeah, well worth a look. And it does mean that all your mates with the Xboxes can now finally play multiplayer, which is good. It's very good. Never even heard of Barrow Trauma. It does look good. Frostpunk kind of tempted me. I have had a look at it, but I don't know. I'm not quite ready. It seems a little bit more grueling even than Dwarf Fortress. It seems like you're always kind of choosing the least worst option kind of thing, which is, I understand, is kind of the intent of the game, but it doesn't call to me in the same way other stuff does. But that Barrow Trauma game looks interesting at the very least, like a side-on 2D submarine game where you have to co-op it to manage the submarine. Has elements that remind me in spirit of Space Station 13. I mean, oh god, somebody's got to make like an improved version of Space Station 13. That game's got so much potential. It is hampered so much by just its state, the actual interface and stuff. Could be a great game. I mean, it is a great game, but it could be so much better. Frostpunk is sort of a misery simulator, although the little footprints the people leave are kind of cool. I remember watching one of the Yogs guys play it, like Tom or someone, which was pretty good fun. Anyway, I've managed to talk almost non-stop for nearly an hour, and I've done precisely zero other than put down some cage traps, and kill most of my dwarves through neglect, which is tragic. Let's do a final recap of what's going on here. Let's have a little final survey of the fortress so we know where we're going to be next time, and then we'll save the game and quit out and do all the goodbye bit at the end. Maybe have a little chit chat without the game pretending to be played in the background. So the top level of the fortress is pretty much as it was at the start, except it now has an array of cage traps, which it turns out were never needed. Even though we've had the cavern, or the cave rather, open all the time. Oh, there's still a baby in the fucking... Oh. Never mind. Hopefully all the people who've lost children in that cave are also dead themselves, and therefore we won't end up in some kind of grief fountain spurting out of the top of the fortress. Anyway, yeah, the cavern was always open, so we had dwarves going in there and getting killed. If we go further down, our carpenter's workshop is probably now unoccupied. No, Parker the carpenter is still live and kicking. Incredible. Our food stockpile is probably going to last a bit longer now. We don't really need to expand our dining hall too much. The Magma Industries, the infrastructure is there, but sadly our skill pool has been depleted. We've also got 2 smelters there for the 2 workshops, so hopefully we can get most of our ores smelted in a timely manner. We dug out a load more bedrooms, which are now entirely superfluous, although we can probably give every dwarf in the fortress their own bed now, which will be nice for them. Very nice. We've probably lost our jeweller. We never had a siege engineer to speak of. We've never even set up the loom and the clothesmaker's workshop. Interesting. Okay, so the fortress has progressed very slightly. There has been some change to the fortress, but I think mainly the changes that have been induced have been in the air around my mouth as I've babbled on endlessly, for which I sort of half-heartedly pseudo-apologise. I'm not sorry. I wouldn't have done it if I was sorry. So there we go. That's the fortress as it is. Those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much for doing so. It's been a pleasure recording for you, and hopefully our paths will cross again sometime in the future. Well, it'll definitely be the future, because this won't be published for at least a few more weeks, and the previous fort wasn't published when I recorded this, so God knows when you'll see it. Anyway, bye-bye YouTube. Bye. Bye, he says.